20, the 10, the 5, the 30. Rosalie Jack Sales was caught at the 30. Julio Humphrey delivered body blow after body blow after body blow. The team just wants to absolutely beat you up.
There are threats all over the field for these Georgia Bulldogs.
The DAWGS.
Good morning, all you Between the Hedges fans. Happy Friday Eve. Boy, do we have a great show in store for you all today. Today we talk about the Georgia Bulldogs freshman linebacker and Lane Kiffin and Kirby Smart. All this and more on Between the Hedges podcast.
Between the Hedges is brought to you by
Dogs and More isn't your normal hot dog stand. Dogs and More serves gourmet hot dogs, hamburgers, and grilled cheese. Also, their floats are no joke either. They are located in Ringen, Georgia. Go to our website and under sponsors click Dogs and More. Believe me, their dogs are off the leash.
Welcome, all you wonderful listeners. If you are new listeners, I want to say hello and thank you for tuning into our podcast. While you're here, go ahead and click the follow button so you can be kept up to date on all our episodes. While you're there, go ahead and make sure your notification is also turned on. To my loyal listeners who are back, I thank you and greatly appreciate your support. If you want to reach out to us on the podcast, there are a couple of options for you. On the podcast description, you will see our email address, bthfpodcast@gmail.com, and our website link, which you can click on. And on the website, there is a send message button at the bottom. If none of those options work for you, then you can call us at 706-389-0770 and leave us a message. We want to hear from our fans. Remember, this is a podcast by the fans for the fans. We're also on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube, if you want to check us out there as well. Today's podcast is going to be awesome. I cannot wait to get it started. We'll be back right after this.
Between the Hedges is brought to you by
CB Tumblers. You ever wish you could have a custom tumbler? Well, now you can. CB Tumblers can make you any custom tumbler, from a bulldog design or a tie-dye, whichever you like. Whatever you can think of, they can make it. Go to our website and under our sponsor section, click CB Tumblers and get your custom tumbler ordered today.
Welcome back, Georgia Bulldog fans. We're going to talk about our Georgia football confident and freshman linebackers C.J. Allen and Raylan Wilson entering Ole Miss test. It didn't take Tate Rutledge long to known as freshman linebacker C.J. Allen and Raylan Wilson. While the Bulldogs were preparing to play in the college football playoff and national championship game a season ago, these two freshmen were throwing themselves into practice. Rutledge was quoted saying, "They came out on scout defense and our offensive linemen were like, 'Who are these guys?' They were flying around hitting stuff. I've definitely seen them grow up a lot since they've been here, and now it's kind of forced on them to try and step into a role that I think they've done a really good job." We will find out how these two linebackers have grown up starting this week against Ole Miss. Now, Jamin Dumas-Johnson, of course, is still out with an arm injury. Georgia is turning to the two freshmen to fill his void. Now, these two have seen some extensive playing time this season. As you know, Georgia employs a rotation at the position or next man up. In addition to being key special teams players, Allen and Wilson have worked as rotational linebackers. That is how Kirby plays his team, and it has been working for him so far. Allen has had 12 tackles on the season, while Wilson has had 7. Now, Saturday will be a bit different, as Dumas-Johnson has started the previous 24 games at inside linebacker for Georgia. The Dogs will still have Small Munden to help guide the two young linebackers. Georgia safety Malaki Starks says, "No matter what level you get to play football, it is still football. Still 100 yards, still have to hike the ball. Offense, defense, still the same thing, just a faster tempo. So just go out there and have fun and be able to trust your brothers beside you, especially when you're coming as a freshman. I know it's not so easy and nerve-wracking, but if you can trust the guy beside you and have faith in him that he's going to help you out, it makes it a lot easier." Now, Starks knows what Allen and Wilson will be going through. That Georgia safety started 14 games as a freshman and made an immediate impact in the season-opening win over Oregon. Allen and Wilson will be playing in a game with similar stakes, as the Bulldogs welcome number 9 Ole Miss into Sanford Stadium. Now, Ole Miss has one of the top offenses in the league. They are led by its potent rushing attack. Now, Quinshon Judkins, running back, is a great one. He's only part of the reason why Ole Miss is averaging 181 yards per game on the ground. The quarterback Jackson Dart is equally capable of hurting a team with his legs, and he has arms. He will be a player we will need to keep our eye out on this Saturday. He has had 23 touchdowns this season. Dart has had 7 rushing touchdowns. Allen and Wilson aren't your typical freshman linebackers, as the former was the number 6 linebacker prospect in the 2023 recruiting cycle, and Wilson was the number 4 at the position. They arrived at Georgia with great expectations. Now Saturday will be their first big chance to meet them. Allen will more than likely start on Saturday, in part because of a preseason knee injury Wilson suffered back in August. However, head coach Kirby Smart is very confident in what the two young linebackers bring to the team. Smart was quoted saying, "You don't know if a guy's going to be at the place he needs to be as a freshman until they get here and you see how they learn and process. They were both bright kids and they were both really talented kids. So physical, and they had the gifts to be able to play. But I mean, within our defense, there's a mental rep count you get to get, luckily, and they have all had that actual practice this spring. They got it down in the spring and they had all summer, and of course, don't forget fall camp. Raylan would be probably at least where CJ is or ahead if he had not had the injury in camp. That set him back. But he's caught up really quickly, and they're both really good athletes. I feel that these two players will bring their A game this Saturday, and we are going to need them. Georgia Bulldogs has a great recruiting program, and ever since Kirby Smart has done the work and scouting and research on these high school players, we bring in A-rated players to the Georgia Bulldog football team. I feel that this is one of the successes where we are able to do the next man-up play actions because of our recruiting. Rotating the players out keeps them on the field, keeps them warm and ready. Sitting on those sidelines can get you cold and stiff. Bulldogs are going to continue to succeed in this area and are going to triumph every time if they keep this recruiting process in play. I am still feeling very confident with our boys for this Saturday against Ole Miss at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN. If you think they are not going to win, then feel free to reach out and let us know why you think that. Remember, you can send us a message on the website. The link is in the podcast description below. You can also email us, bthfpodcast@gmail.com. Also, you can call us, 706-389-0770. Allen and Wilson will be ready for the game this Saturday, and we will be back right after this.
Between the Hedges is brought to you by
Dog Swap. If you love custom frames, then you are going to love their designs. Dog Swap has all sorts of custom frames, from Sports Illustrated to photos and more. Go to our website and under our sponsors section, click Dog Swap and get your one-of-a-kind custom sports frame ordered today.
Welcome back to our second segment of Between the Hedges podcast. We're going to be talking about Lane Kiffin and Kirby Smart. They were at opposite ends of a rope one of the last times they went head-to-head. Kiffin said that we did tug of war during the players' fourth quarter drills. I beat him, but he won't like that story if you ask him. Kiffin will be pulling hard for a win against the Bulldogs on Saturday. The number 9 ranked Ole Miss plays number 2 ranked Georgia, and it will be a battle for who is the best. Kiffin also said, "I kind of feel like nobody gives us a shot," which is a good thing sometimes. I relate it to playing with house money. What do you got to lose? No one expects you to win. The Rebels are on the fringe of the college football playoff picture, while the Bulldogs can clinch a spot in the SEC championship game with a win. An Ole Miss upset with coupled against the Tennessee game this weekend at Missouri, however, would mean the Bulldogs would have to beat Vols in Neyland Stadium on November the 18th to play in the SEC title game. So if if Missouri can destroy Tennessee this weekend, then we have a shot at the SEC championship. But if Missouri loses to Tennessee, then we will have to beat Tennessee on November the 18th. So we also need to beat Ole Miss this weekend. So there is a lot of things riding on this weekend. Coach Kiffin has more reasons for Tennessee to beat Georgia since he coached them in 2009. Kiffin also said, "We've got huge motivation to do something that nobody has done there in 5 years, guys." Listen to that. In 5 years, nobody's beaten us at our home. I think that is awesome. So if we pull off and that helps Tennessee, then I'm happy for Tennessee. I feel that Kiffin still has emotional ties to the Vols, but even though he is for Ole Miss, he will come at the Bulldogs with the same tenacity he did when he played the Bulldogs as a Tennessee coach. On a side note, though, Kiffin did say that he would be happy to see Smart to continue to have success. That is the kind of relationship that Kiffin and Kirby have as coaches. Kiffin was quoted saying, "I just really appreciate Kirby. I really consider him a friend that really helped me at a challenging time in my life when I moved to Tuscaloosa, not being a head coach anymore, family not moving, and I really appreciate his friendship and help during that time." Smart revealed earlier this week that beyond their friendship, he and Kiffin continues to network. Smart said, "A lot of respect for him as a coach. He was a head coach at a really young age. He taught me a lot of things about what he believes in being a head coach and doing it your way. He certainly had a unique experience in terms of the places he's been able to work as a head coach, and he draws on that. There are times we share ideas or GPS numbers or whatever, but there's nothing outside of just a really good friendship and respect." One of the things I caught up on that comment that Smart made was that he had taught him at a really young age about how to be yourself, how to be unique, how to not go based off of what everybody else is doing. And I think that we have seen firsthand what Kirby Smart can do with the Georgia Bulldogs by being what we considered unique. He does have that tenacity. He does have that ability. And I think I've often wondered, where did Kirby Smart get this from? Maybe it was from Saban when he served under him as a coach for Saban for Alabama. But you know what? The more I keep reading these articles, the more I keep listening to the relationship between Kiffin and Smart, it might be contributed that maybe the combination of Kiffin and Saban were the cause for Kirby Smart's success as the Georgia Bulldogs head coach. Now, Kirby Smart may be very successful as a head coach, but because of what Kiffin provided as a good mentor when they were working together on Alabama, even though Kiffin was not a head coach anymore, he definitely provided substantial support and mentorship to Smart, and vice versa, however you want to word that. It did make sense for them to work together for Alabama when they worked in that team together. In fact, it may have been because of their team effort that Alabama was so successful. I know what you're thinking. Wait, what? So you think Saban did not have a hand in it? Well, you have to realize, as a head coach, you're only as good as your players and your coaches. Saban had good talent. I'm not saying Saban's not a good coach, but Saban has good coaches and good players. And because of the product of that, Saban was successful. Now, Kiffin did say that they would probably surprise people. Part of that was High and me not playing every year. I've been here at Ole Miss 3 years without playing him, and at FAU 3 years before that. I just think Kirby is really smart, and I really enjoy talking to really smart, intelligent coaches that you can bounce things off of, or how do they do things, or how do they deal with the players or injuries. He's one of my first calls a lot of times when I'm looking for advice. So you even see Kiffin admitting right here that him and Smart have had a very close relationship even after he's left Tuscaloosa, even after he's left Alabama, now that he's head coach over at Ole Miss. I think if you look at the realm of Kiffin and Smart, this is trying to set up a stage for you guys to understand this weekend's game. Kiffin and Smart have a relationship. They've got a experience. They got a friendship. They talk to one another. They discuss things with one another. What am I getting at? Just bear with me. You'll see what I'm trying to say here. So the two of them seem to have a great friendship, but how will they play out with the two of them on the same field? I feel that they will play fair, that they will play with a lot of integrity. Anything less than that would be insulting towards their friendship. Smart would know if Kiffin didn't give it his best, and Kiffin would know if Smart didn't do his best. The two have a lot riding on this game for their careers. I feel that friendship games are the best because there is a lot riding on them. This is what I'm trying to set up for you guys. They bring energy. They bring pride. They bring love. They bring care. They bring passion. And if you don't think that that's all wrapped up in a football game, then you need to look at that a little bit more intently. Because I'm telling you, college football is full of pride. And pride is full of love, caring, and your passion, your love for your team. The amount of energy that these players put into the game is because of their pride. Kiffin and Smart have pride for their friendship, and I'm sure they both want to say to one another in the future, "You remember that time when I beat you that year?" I guarantee you they talk about that when they get together. Now, I know I can't wait to see these two power coaches go head-to-head this weekend. It is going to be a great game, and I know that we will see some victories coming out of this game. We may have some close calls and some close plays. We know that whatever happens after the game, we will walk away with our heads held high. We will keep you posted again on all the information regarding the Ole Miss game this weekend. Any new information that we might have in regards to Bowers possibly being able to play next weekend against Tennessee. I cannot wait to see the spread for tomorrow. We will more than likely have that on the podcast as well, too. Don't forget to check that out as well, guys. If you have any thoughts on this segment or want to leave a comment, then go to our website and send us a message. Remember, the website link is in the podcast description below. Just hit see more and you can see it there. Call us at 706-389-0770 if you'd like to leave a message. We'll be back right after this.
We got a hell of a challenge. We got a great atmosphere. We need it to be as great an atmosphere in Sandler Stadium as it's ever been to help take care of our home field advantage that we need to have. The crowd needs to have an impact and pull in the same direction for our players. Yeah, they can have a huge impact, and we need them to. I'm counting on them.
All-star, offense, multiple players, 5-yard penalty.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed the episode of Between the Hedges. Be sure to share these episodes with your friends and family. Also, if you haven't had a chance to follow our podcast yet, then go ahead and click that follow button. Also, don't forget to turn on the notifications so you are kept up to date with all the latest news from Between the Hedges. If you want to reach out to us, you can do so by going to the website. The link is in the podcast description below, as well as the email address. When you click on it, you can go down to the bottom of our website and click Send Us a Message. You can also call us at 706-389-0770. Leave us a message, and if it is a professional message, then we will play it on the podcast. Well, I hope you all have a great day today, and we will see you all tomorrow on Between the Hedges. Go Dogs!